I'm the best there is at what I do. What I do ain't pretty.
Greetings everyone and welcome to Collect Corps. Today we're going to be looking at the Marvel Toybox, Disney Toybox, Wolverine. So, enough preamble, let's just get into it. And getting him out of the packaging, I have to say, and this is something that a lot of people on the Marvel Legends subreddit mentioned when I actually posted about this, his proportions are very weird. Mostly in his legs. Like, generally he looks like Wolverine, he's got big bulky arms, got a wide chest, torso area, smaller head. It looks like the comics, basically. And then the legs are thin. So, my biggest criticism is that the upper leg needs to be a bit thicker, he has to have a bit of a thicker thigh. Other than that, I don't really see it as much of an issue, because a lot of the time, with a Wolverine, you're going to be, put him into a bit of a crouch, So that kind of neutralizes any need for, I'm just trying to, on the fly, just put him in a pose. But, if you've got him in this sort of position, this sort of, crouched, lunging forward, I think that kind of fixes a lot of the issues with the legs, honestly. And is going to each their own, but overall, I think it works. Obviously, he's in his classic X-Men style, the yellow and blue. Very original, very classic, very, I think 70s was X-Men. I'm not completely sure. X-Men comics are not something that I got into until, the 90s, so, yeah, I'm not too sure. But, yeah, when it comes to actual details, you do have the belt, which looks very good. I'm a huge fan of the tiny little details like that. It's always nice when they actually fill in the paints. And then on the head, you've got all the features of Wolverine. You've got the little, head wing things, angry face. I don't really know what else to say. And then, of course, you've probably all noticed it. He does have retractable claws, which, long claws, or half-length claws. Those are your choices. I like this as a feature. I just wish that this was the max length and it would actually go in. That would be preferred, but I mean, honestly, having claws that are that big, that's kind of incredible. I really do like that look, and I'll probably just leave it like that. I do find it ironic, though, that this could probably actually fit into his forearm, which is something you don't see with a lot of Wolverine figures, which is quite interesting. But, yeah, just as a comparison between the blades, yeah, you can see it's about double the actual length when it's extended compared to when it's not. My biggest issue with this is just the fact of the peg being so ridiculously big. I understand it has to be, but, it does kind of take away from the overall look. Kind of disappointing. So, going over articulation, the head is completely just on a singular ball joint. So you do have some movability. In fact, you have really good, turning. You have really good tilt. By comparison to a lot of other figures, that is actually a pretty good tilt. But then, you've got bury the chin. You've got okay up, but not as much as I want, especially when you're going to have him, crouch down a little bit. I'd rather him be able to look even further up, so you can have him, in full animal mode, on the ground. But, in any case, it's still alright, especially for the fact it doesn't have a hinge. At the torso, there's only waist swivel, which is fine. It means that there's less break in the actual, design. But I wish that there was a crunch. That would have been nice. But, in any case, it's still alright. At the arm, you've got out a little bit past 90. You've got swivel all the way around. You will be noticing a lack of paint there. I don't think it's much of an issue, but some people will be really annoyed by that. It's personal preference more than anything. Then at the elbow, we have, I'd say that's about 90. And swivel, of course. And then because of the blades, nothing at the wrist. But as I say, that is on a little, train, I guess. I don't really know how to describe it, but, that moves. It's very cool. Whatever. At the legs, we have out past 90. That's impressive, actually. That's better than a lot of figures that should be doing that sort of distance. That obviously goes forward that much, back, not much because of the butt sculpt, but that's all fine. At the knee, single knee goes about to 90. Not terrible for a single knee. That's actually pretty good. And then finally at the ankle we have hinge back about that much, hinge forward, a bit better but still not great, and then it's a pin just rotating, so you do have some rotation but no rocker, which is kind of unfortunate. It does make it a little bit more awkward to stand him, but I mean, other than that time when I knocked him over towards the start of the video, I generally don't have an issue standing him up. For accessories, Logan comes with an unmasked head, which I say you just pop it off, pop it on. It's a bit tighter, but it's still fine. And there you go, you've got an unmasked Logan if that's what you're wanting. I'm not huge on this design. I think that this face is fine for the cartoony aesthetic. It's just not my envision of Logan. You also get a cowboy hat or some sort of Stetson, which just goes on this head. Looks pretty good. It may be a little bit big, but I mostly am just going to use this for Venom, I'll be quite honest. So it's alright overall. And then the final accessory is actually this scabbard with sword. And the sword is actually removable from the scabbard. It's got a nice curve to it. It's kind of like a samurai sword. Really nice detail on basically every aspect of it, but I really like how they've got the little diamonds in the hilt. And it's very cool. You can just put that in there. It's kind of odd because though he can technically hold it, I say technically because it is tight, why would he need a sword when he has no retractable claws? He always has the claws out, so it almost defeats the point of having the sword. I don't know, it seems like a weird inclusion to me, but I mean, I'll always take an extra accessory just for free. And then, of course, as you probably can already tell, you can fit this over him. I haven't yet to figure out quite the most effective way to put it on. It might be like this, I'm doing this live. I haven't really thought about it too much. Yeah, okay. And then just put the sword in. So there we go. If you're wanting the sword look, you can just put it over his shoulder, and yeah, I think that looks pretty good overall. Give him back his hat. It's a bit of a weird fit on the hat, so it doesn't quite look right in my opinion, but honestly, it works. For comparisons, we have the Disney Marvel Toybox Venom and the Disney Marvel Toybox Carnage. He's slightly shorter. He's not as short as he probably should be, but as I said at the start, I mean, in the case of all these characters actually, they're mostly crouched. In my display, I very rarely have any of these characters in full stance, so you can probably fudge it into some displays, and in fact, let's just compare to Legends. And after adjusting the camera to actually fit them in, we have Marvel Legends Comic Book Storm and the Venom Pool Wave Carnage. I don't know why I always struggle to think of what wave this is from, but yeah, I think you probably could just about get it in. He does seem a little bit too short, and I do accept that, but I don't know, you probably could work it out if you really liked this specific design. It's not really my mind's eye of Wolverine. I will be completely honest, I mostly got him for the hat, because I need it for a Venom display, should I say. But, yeah, it works, it's alright. If you really want to, fit him in, it will work. And then for a mixed display, we have the Star Wars Black Series Stormtrooper, the first version of it, and I think it's Forces of Destiny Ahsoka Trooper. This is surprisingly good. I'm still thinking that he's a little bit tall for this scale, but honestly, crouch him down, I think that'd work. And then finally, we have a Playmobil figure, just for comparison, just generally, and then because I have to include him in all the reviews, we have Jazzware's Fortnite Fish Stick. And on that note, that is going to be it for this review. So thanks for watching, like if you did enjoy it, subscribe if you're new around here, and ring that bell so you never miss an upload. I try and get a review out every Tuesday and Friday, so if you subscribe and ring that bell, you'll never miss an upload. But otherwise, that's going to be it from this video, and yeah. Bye!